What's good, YouTube? It's your man Rage King back with another one. Yes, another upload to the channel. And before we get started, I ask if y'all please go down there and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button, hit that bell for notifications if you're new. Welcome to Rage Ranch TV. This is how we do Rage and Rebels. Crown up. And if you're new to the crew, welcome to the Rage and Rebel Revolution. Now let's vibe. And y'all, it has been made official per ABC News. The Houston Texans are benching Kyle Allen and going back to Davis Mills. Now let's speak on it. Now, as I've stated before in previous videos earlier on, for those who've been following me for a while, I never did think that Davis Mills was the quarterback for the future. I agreed that we needed to see what he had at the beginning of the season because, let's just be honest, what other option did we have? We didn't have any. So Davis Mills was our best option going into this season. And for some reason, well, I ain't gonna say for some reason, but after a 1-8 in one start, it was clear that not only was Davis Mills not the quarterback of the future, but Davis Mills was along the lines of being, or should I say, was one of the bottom tier quarterbacks in the league. When you give someone like Davis Mills, when you give the NFL, when you give competition like the NFL a full year to game plan against you, game plan against your weaknesses and see how you adjust and you can adjust, that's how you tell the difference between who's just okay, who's good, and who's great. When you're just okay, you're okay. When your team is down by a lot, and when your team is up by a lot, it's a lot of other factors going on around you to help you look better than what you honestly are. When you're good, and this is where a lot of people get it confused between being good and being great. When you're good, certain teams can game plan against you, and simply because they don't have the personnel or the coaching staff to put said personnel in the right position, or you just so happen to have a coach that really knows what he's doing, it makes you look a little better than what you are. You're talented, you got talent, but it's basically the difference between a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster and a guy like Tyreek Hill. Juju Smith-Schuster, and this is no disrespect to him, Juju Smith-Schuster is good, but in order for him to actually get his numbers, he needs other pieces around him. I understand one man can't get the job done, but he needs other pieces around him to help him look more like a number one receiver because he's truly a number two. Then you look at a guy like Tyreek Hill, who literally changes the culture of wherever place he goes. He literally took a Miami Dolphins team that was struggling, took a guy that was looking like a bust in Tua Tagovailoa and turned them into a playoff team, considerably enough, honestly, a championship contender team, and making Tua Tagovailoa looking more and more like an MVP candidate each and every week. That's just my opinion. If you disagree, let me know in the comments section. So I say all that to say this. Davis Mills to me was just okay. He had a lot of empty stats. A lot of his stats that he got were at the end of the game. We're at the end of the game when the team was already down or the team was already winning in your situation here. He's never really a guy you can say, as I've stated before, go win us a game. You can't put the game in Davis Mills' hands, and as we clearly saw in Kyle Allen's hands, and say, go win us the game. If anything, those guys are going to cost you the game more than anything, but to more of a degree, Kyle Allen and Davis Mills. And I got to ask this question. What exactly did you think you were going to get out of Kyle Allen that you already weren't getting out of Davis Mills? Because let's just be honest. I know a lot of people, oh, it's Pep Hamilton's fault. Oh, it's Lovie Smith's fault. Oh, it's that. Guys, y'all act like Lovie Smith and Pep Hamilton were supposed to take us to the Super Bowl or something. We were never going to win more than 4 or 5 games. Let's just keep it real. The Houston Texans were not built to win a lot of games. First of all, they got a big cap number. They took a big cap hit trading a big contract like Deshaun Watson. I don't know if y'all understand how the salary cap works, but the Houston Texans are still paying that man a portion of his contract. It's going to get easier as the years go on, but a big portion of why they have a lot of dead money is the Deshaun Watson contract. Did y'all forget about that? Let's not forget about the pillaging of draft picks due to one Bill O'Brien. The ghost of Bill O'Brien still lingers. And we're seeing it on the football field. Guys, the Houston Texans weren't going nowhere this season. Where were we going? I'll tell you, home. After getting beat down game after game after game, what did you think you were going to get out of Kyle Allen that you weren't going to get out of Davis Mills? Kyle Allen may have had a better practice here and there, Davis, but to me, that felt like a panic move. That felt like, to me, the move from Davis Mills to Kyle Allen felt like, oh, the media is getting the pressure. The media is getting to Lovie Smith. It's getting to the coaching staff. It's getting to the higher ups, guys. To hell with the media. We weren't going to win anyway after the damage that Bill O'Brien has done to this team. Where were we going for a couple years? Nowhere but home. You can thank Bill O'Brien for that, guys. This is not going to be a one and done thing. This is going to take some time. It's going to take a few seasons. I'm sorry. It sucks. I know. As I've told y'all before in earlier videos, it sucks. It's going to be horrible. Sometimes the Houston Texans are going to be downright hard to watch. As we just saw with that game against Cleveland. We literally lost that game. And Cleveland didn't score one offensive touchdown. Not one. Due to turnovers from Kyle Allen, I get the interception was a freak interception, but due to turnovers from Kyle Allen and simply terrible quarterback play, we did not win a game we should have won. A game where the defense actually stepped up. So I'm not understanding why make this move, guys. We would either way we were going to be stuck. We were going to be stuck with Davis Mills this season, no matter what. And as I've said before, and I will say again, Davis Mills is a very good backup. But he's not a starter in the NFL. And that's no knock against him as a man personally. It's just talking NFL football talks. I understand how difficult it is to play in the NFL. Hell, you got to be really good to suck in the NFL. Any of those guys in the NFL, whether they make the team or off the team, you put them in any other brand of football that's regulated by some kind of NFL rules, guarantee you they are beating they look like superstars. Because it is very difficult to be a top-notch player among the best athletic players, amongst the best athletes in the world. So this move right here to Kyle Allen from Davis, that was not the way to go. Guys, we're a bad football team. Houston Texans fans, hear me and hear me good. I say this as I have every Houston sports team tattooed on my arm. We're not a good football team. One of the last videos I made before I took a little hiatus. We're not a good football team. These are the growing pains. These are the seasons where your loyalty to your team is really going to be tested. But I never thought that Davis Mills should have been benched for Kyle Allen for the simple fact that Kyle Allen was a backup to Davis Mills for a reason. Why did you think the backup was going to give you any more than the starter you already had out there? We just got to get through this season, y'all. I know it's a horrible season. And I'm not even going to lie to you. Watching Kyle Allen play quarterback was some of the most cringeworthy football I have ever seen in my life on an NFL level. The guy clearly looked like a PE teacher that decided to volunteer to play quarterback for the Houston Texans. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. He did not look good. I can't blame Pep Hamilton and Lovie Smith for a lack of talent at skill positions. Then on top of that, you talking about throwing Kyle Allen out there with no Brandon Cooks? And you really thought that was going to work? I'm not saying it's a bad coach. Oh, he's a terrible coach, man. I just didn't think that move made any sense. That was a bad coaching move, I will say that. But guys, it don't matter if you got Davis Mills or Kyle Allen. You're not winning with either one of those quarterbacks. You're just not doing it. So let's get through this season. Keep Davis Mills at the quarterback position, barring injury. Keep him there for the final 5 games. See what he does, and then look to draft a quarterback in the future. And honestly, I would even go as far as to keep Davis Mills on the squad to be that bridge quarterback, because I wouldn't draft a rookie quarterback and then just throw him out there with as bad as this team is right now. I would give him the Pat Mahomes treatment. Like when Pat Mahomes first got drafted, what did he do? His first year in the league, he sat behind Alex Smith. He got a full year to see how it is to play quarterback, learn the system, get his body right, make sure they got pieces around him so when they did throw him out there, guess what? He threw for 50 touchdowns. I'm not saying that the quarterback we draft is going to do that. It would be nice, don't get me wrong, but a quarterback that we very possibly could end up drafting in this upcoming draft, I would draft them, yeah. But keep a guy like Davis Mills and maybe sign a veteran quarterback like a Baker Mayfield or Jacoby Brissett if they become available, and have them be the bridge quarterback to that rookie quarterback that you're ultimately going to have to draft this season. Let's just call it what it is. You're going to have to draft a quarterback this upcoming season. But I'm going to leave that thought right there because that's another video for another time. But I think this move right here, Davis Mills being a starting quarterback, it should have been a season-long move. Kyle Allen was never going to give you anything that Davis Mills wasn't already giving you. And let's just keep it real. Neither of these guys are the quarterback for the future, and it shows. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about Davis Mills returning to the starting role of the Houston Texans and the benching of Kyle Allen, man. Do you think it was the right move? As long as you remain respectful and logical, we can have a conversation, but that's the end of the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. It's been a pleasure making it for you, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Have a good day. Go Texans.